What is going on, everybody? In this video we will be taking a look at the Pontiac GTO the Judge. Now I will also be doing a video on the rally raid edition of this vehicle as well, but let's get right into the customization on the street version right now. Jumping right into the customization here, guys. So there is official colors you can change to this car, which honestly they all look pretty dope. I kind of like them all, honestly. We're going to take a look at the upgrades first to see what I can actually do to it before I choose the color there. You can also do liveries, obviously, for whichever ones Ubisoft or Ivory Tower has made. And then also we have the ones people have made, which I'm sure people have probably made some awesome ones there. Taking a quick look at some of these, I'm sure people made some cool ones. And then moving on to the visual parts here, let's see what we can actually do to this car now. So obviously it's a stock hood. Another one there, let's see. To be honestly, pretty good customization. Sometimes it's kind of more than I think sometimes. I mean, sometimes I don't think there's not going to be that much. Not gonna lie. And then moving over to the bumper. Good amount of bumpers here are available as well. Seems like it just changes some of the lights, honestly, and the little carbon fiber on some of them, and that's pretty much it. Not anything too insane, as you guys will see there. So I'll go with that one on there. Let's move over to the fender. So you can make it a wide body, which that just does not look right. That one doesn't look as bad. This one's not as bad. These look okay. But I don't know what that is. I don't really know what that is. And then moving over to the rims, obviously there's only one rim for the vehicle here. And then besides that, there's another 80 or so rims you can put on pretty much every other vehicle if you choose to do so. I'll probably just leave on the stock rims though, just because they look pretty dope. And then we can also change the caliper colors as well, if you can actually see them. Put them red. Skirts. So that one basically already black there. You can make it white if you want. Probably depending on the color set you have, probably look pretty cool. And then moving this over here. So here's that weird, whatever you want to call that. I don't like that personally. And then there's these two fenders as well. But these actually look pretty cool. These don't look bad, honestly. Those look pretty cool. Moving over to the rear wing here, so you can make it looks like carbon fiber, which looks pretty cool. Probably go with the carbon fiber wing there on that. And then moving over to the rear bumpers here, let's take a look, see what we got. So I have this one on here currently. Let's see what the other ones look like, see how much they changed. So as you will see, a lot of it looks like the lights just changed on a lot of them, or the exhaust tips, pretty much, with some of the rear bumpers changing. I'm honestly going to go with that. That looks pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. And then moving over, I'll show the rest of them as well to see what we got here. Let's see, they do change a bit there, pretty cool. Really depends on what you feel like doing with your car, I guess. If you like chrome, stuff like that. Really depends, maybe what exhaust tips you like. Something like that overall. Pretty good choice there. Moving on to the interior, let's see what we can do with this. So let's make it red, like that. Let's see what we can do. So you can also make it obviously the carbon. You could do the regular finish there, the wood, and then the other regular finish as well. So I'm gonna go with carbon on there. Let's put that. And there goes the customization. And then let's go take a look at the vanity. Obviously, the vanity is whatever you guys have. You can throw on here. Really depends on what you guys own on that matter. But regardless, you don't have to put any vanity on it if you don't want to. Which is cool. Personally, I'm not sure if I'm going to put any tires on here. I mean, I could throw that on there, but nah. And obviously, smokes and all that, you can throw whatever you guys have on there. Pretty much goes for any vehicle with these. If you guys are wondering, with your vanity items, you can throw whatever you guys have on there. As you can see here, whatever you guys have, you can throw on there. Anyway, let's go drive this thing a little bit and test out its speed. So you guys already know that I had to come to the salt flats to test this thing out, but let's take a quick look at it right now, and I will also test it on the street as well to see if that affects the speed. So here's the car overall outside. Looks pretty good. Let's listen to it. Sounds pretty awesome as well, as you guys can see there. Let's see how this thing accelerates now. I'm running the chemist set on here as well, if you're wondering. My guess this car will probably have 4-speed transmission there, which is a good thing. Sometimes it can be better for racing, honestly, depending on the race you're doing. It can be a little easier to use when you're using manual too. So let's see what it will do now. I am running the chemist set, like I said, on here. Let's see. Wow. I'm pretty impressed. Wow. So it looks like 249 there with Nitro Chemist. That's actually pretty impressive. See there, it went 249 with Nitro Chemist on the salt flats, which is honestly pretty crazy. I wasn't expecting this car to be this fast. As if you're wondering, I did not forget to show you guys the interior here, so let's go check that out real fast. Honestly, it looks pretty awesome. Love classic cars. I mean, this thing freaking looks dope. Let's go drive this thing on the road now and see if that makes any difference at all to the speed, which it doesn't seem like it will, honestly, because I was kind of impressed it actually hit 249 like that. Sometimes the cars are a little bogged down on the salt flats. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that. And I also noticed, depending on the road you are on, sometimes the car just doesn't go the right speed, which is normal, I guess, depending on where you are. I guess it kind of makes sense a little bit. Don't want to mess with the logic too much on here, so let's use a little more chemist. This car actually gets up to speed fairly quickly, which is kind of surprising. This car might actually be a pretty good contender. I can't wait to actually try it out on a race and see how it does. Might need just the handling a little bit on it to see if it can do a little better there on that turn, but let's go see what we can do with the top speed. Should say we'll probably hit 240 again with no issues. Yep, so I actually did 251 right there. Pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Let's go take it into a race right now, and then after that, I will also show you the settings I'm running on it. Alright, guys, so jumping right into the sleeper race with the GTO here. So I figured this would be a good race to test this thing out, mainly because, well, honestly, I feel like most of the cars have to go through this race to be good. Honestly, I mean, all the turns and all that, kind of how it is. Anyway, so jumping right into the GTO. So how is this thing overall? Well, honestly, the speed has kind of impressed me with it so far. I was not expecting this car to be this quick, how it is. I was thinking it was actually going to do 250, so this car actually has really good speed to it, and I feel like it actually could be used in races if you really wanted to. Handling-wise is also pretty decent. I'm noticing with the right build on it, this car handles pretty well, which I will show at the end of the video if you're interested. Anyway, so right here I just hit 200. The brakes aren't the greatest on this thing, so do keep that in mind. Definitely a little weird there, but besides that, I mean, the car's doing really, really well. It looks great. I'm really glad to see this car in this game. I love the GTO. Frickin' thing looks frickin' awesome. And if you're wondering, I will be doing a video on the lifted one as well, because that thing looks freaking dope. That actually might be my favorite vehicle in this update. Anyway, guys, so let's take a look at the interior here again, because honestly, it looks freaking dope. And if you guys are wondering what I was talking about earlier with the manual being like... Fucker, dummy.
Three, two, one.
Alright, guys, jumping right into the sleeper race here, so I figured why not test this car in this race, because I feel like all the turns and all that really put this car to the test. So how does it handle compared to other vehicles? Well, honestly, guys, obviously the muscle cars aren't going to handle like a Lamborghini Gallardo will or anything like that in this class, because that is probably the best car in the class, and this car is not going to be able to turn like that thing. But overall, it's actually pretty decent. Speed is pretty great with Nitro Chemist as well. I'm kind of surprised how this thing can hold some speed as well as it can. Kind of shocked it actually did over 200 like that. With no issues at all. Like if I hit Nitro Chemist right now, easy 220. I want to be a little careful on the brakes in this car are not the greatest, so if you're going to like speed really fast into a turn and hit the brakes, well, you're probably going to fly into the wall, which would not be fun. Overall, guys, like I said, this car looks freaking awesome, and I'm really happy to see the GTO in the game. Always been a fan of these cars. I love muscle cars. Like taking a look at the interior, looks pretty awesome. Love to hear that V8 too. Freaking sounds amazing. They did a great job on the engine sound as well. So glad to hear that. So let's see how this thing does as well driving. Honestly, I feel like it's actually doing pretty well so far. I was expecting it to be a little less like good at handling. Honestly, not the greatest in speed, but so far it's kind of shocked me a little bit. This car's actually pretty dang good, and for a street vehicle, looks like we have a muscle car that can actually compete pretty well. I'm not saying all the muscle cars in the game are bad, but some just don't handle that well, and they just can't keep up with some of the other really good street vehicles that we can use in summits and stuff like that. This one might actually be able to be used in some summits, honestly. I might have to try it out and see how it does. Overall, the handling might not be as great, like I said, but besides that, the speed's there, and this thing's freaking, I mean, it's doing well. Another thing I wanted to point out as well, if you guys are wondering what I was talking about the like 4-speed transmissions, on how sometimes being an automatic is better, I'm not really sure why that makes sense, but I was testing some of the other vehicles out. Like a while ago, there was a Summit with the Volkswagen minibus, and I was using manual on that. And for some weird reason, it wasn't doing the greatest, but when I was using it in automatic, the car seemed to be better. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's just how the gears are. So say you're going around a turn, and you're like, oh, I got to shift down to get more power out of the turn. But you don't actually need to shift down because you only have 4 gears, and you'll shift into first gear, and you'll go like red line at like 60 miles an hour and go, okay, I'm screwed. Yeah, you probably are. But it's okay, because getting used to the shifting in this game can be a little weird sometimes, and, you know, best way to do it is to practice. The 4 speeds can be a little weird, but getting used to them, I can definitely see they are not too bad to drive in manual. Anyway, guys, that'll pretty much sum it up for the GTO. This car is pretty awesome. If you do want it, head over to the Street HQ there, and you can get it for about $280,000. I recommend adding it to your collection. This car is freaking cool, and right now I will show you my settings. The settings I'm running on the Pontiac GTO, the Judge.